Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Happy 4th of July. Look at us, we're all decked out. Awesome. Yeah, I'm seeing them out there. That's great. So I'll tell you what, we're going to start this morning doing an oldie but goodie. Some of you might know this one. We are all friends here. It's actually, if you want to look at the music, it's actually pasted in the back of these little brown books. But the words are up there, and it's really easy. So we're going to stand up this morning, and I'd like to welcome you to Unity. Before I forget to do that, so thank you for being here this morning. We're going to sing this through one time, and then the second time through, I would like you to turn around and just welcome the person next to you. Okay? It's a fun song, so we're going to have a good time with this.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Life Center in Yakima. I am Rob. Well, we have a new face in here, and if you'd like to get one of our board packets, they'll be available from Janet or Leslie. We want to let you know that we welcome you wherever you are on your spiritual path, and we thank you for spending your time with us. Now, I'm kind of new at this part of it, so we will be opening the prayer and lighting the Christ candle. A platform assistant comes forward for that. Prayer partner.
Don't put that on me.
Light this Christ candle to remind us of the Christ light shining in each and every one of us. Before we have an opening prayer, I would like you to imagine that right here in the middle of the stage is a big American flag, and I would like everyone to stand, and whoever cares to, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. See, it's waving.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So now if you'll join me in prayer. Great Spirit, Mother, Father, God, we're so grateful to be here today. We're grateful for our brothers and sisters that are joining us. For those who can't be with us, you know their reason. We ask you to watch over them. Great Spirit, we'd like to ask special care for Myrnie and Patrick, who lost their home in a fire this week. We ask that you keep them safe, help them to do what is theirs to do, and we know you will lead them through to whatever is next. We are grateful that we have this chance to bless others in our community. We bless our world leaders, our local leaders, our town leaders with firm and into violence and great spirit. We are so grateful that this is a peaceful haven in a world of chaos. Now lead us into a great service. Help us to hear the words that Marilyn is led to speak, and help us to have a great celebration of this great state of ours. In gratitude for blessings given and prayers answered before they are asked, together we say, thank you, God. So it is.
Good morning, I'm Jeannie Reed and I'm your platform assistant today. And we're going to do the daily word now. So sit back and relax in your chairs, feet on the floor, eyes closed if you're okay doing that. Take a deep breath and blow it out and relax. Our word for today is freedom. In thought, word, and action, I celebrate my freedom. There are many ways to feel free. I may work hard to become financially free. I may plan trips so that I can freely explore the world. I may commit to learning for intellectual freedom or exercise my body for greater freedom of movement. Even as I do my work in the world to know freedom, I remember that I am always free at the level of spirit. No situation or circumstance has power over me. Every day and in every area of my life, I live from my divine nature, where I am wholly and completely free. Through my inner powers of understanding and faith, I recognize and embrace empowering beliefs. My spiritual gifts of strength and release keep me on course and help me free myself from habits that derail my spiritual growth. Through God within, I am grateful to be free. And from Galatians 5:1, for freedom, Christ has set us free. Our word today is freedom.
And now, if you'll join me in meditation. A few deep breaths, breathing in and releasing. Breathing in right deep into the chest cavity, into the belly, and releasing. One more time. Deep breath, and release, and let go. Now let's move further into this whole concept of freedom. Concentrate on your body. Feel your feet on the floor. Feel every sensation in the body. And then as you breathe in, sensing this whole body, and then letting go and releasing this body. Recognizing that the body is not who you are. And then breathing in again, sensing the feelings within the body, the physical sensations and any emotions that are there. Breathing in deeply and releasing them. You are not those feelings. You are not those emotions. And then breathing in again, sensing the energy of the body. And releasing and letting it go. You're not even that. And then breathing in again, recognizing the mind and all those thoughts, all the mental activity. Are we that mental activity? Are you those thoughts? Release them and let them go. And then we move to consciousness itself. Breathe in and release. And as we let go of all these concepts of who we are, we enter into the space of the wide open sky. Great openness, great expansiveness. And all these other concepts, just like clouds moving through. We see them, we recognize them. And we rest within that great expanse of pure being. And let's rest together in that place for a few moments. And now with a deep breath, we come back, recognizing ourselves in this place. And coming into a place of community prayer. Jeannie asked for prayers for Gabe and Stephanie for healing of their relationship. Diane asked for prayers for Dana and Daryl. Both have torn shoulders and are in pain. And I would like to ask for prayers for my sister Pauline, who is in a lot of pain with lower back problems. And for my niece Elaine, who is having recurring mental health problems. And also, of course, prayers for Myrnie and Patrick. And now for whoever is on your heart, whisper their names into this space. and finish with your own name. And with gratitude for these prayers answered, we say thank you, God. And so it is.
It is my pleasure to introduce Marilyn Holloway as our guest speaker today. She is a member of our church for a long time, our spiritual center, and she also has wonderful things to bring us. So, got any further? Marilyn.
So good morning, everyone. Morning. Great to be here today. And I'll tell you how I came to be talking today. When I was getting together with our speaker team, we were planning speakers ahead of time, and we came to this day and realized it's 4th of July, and we thought, oh my goodness, we're going to have a hard time finding outside speakers to come because people are going to be camping and going on vacation and all kinds of stuff. So I said, okay, I'll do it. And then later on, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm a Brit. Anyway, my original thought was to talk about the challenges of freedom. And of course, there are challenges of freedom. And this past year, we have been through really a horrendous time, and the world's been through a difficult time. And this country in particular has gone through all kinds of issues. So again and again, the issues of freedom come up. So I was going to talk about that. And then we had our yard sale, and I was coming here every day with a bunch of other people, and it was an amazing experience under the leadership of Janelle. And there was something so uplifting. I'd go home every day really tired, and I'd take a nap, and I would feel so uplifted. And in meditation one day, I came to this place of realizing we are whole. We are okay in this little community, in this church. We are whole. We don't need healing. We don't need therapy. We are whole. Hence this quote, all this is full. All that is full. When fullness is taken from fullness, fullness remains. Fullness still remains. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. That is who we are. And I was talking to Juanita a little bit later, and I shared with her my realization that we are whole. And I said, we need to embrace our wholeness. And she said, yes. She said, why don't you make that the subject of your talk? And why don't you talk on that? So I said, yes. So that's the subject of my talk. But when I started thinking about this, I started to realize that woven in with this is this concept of freedom. And concepts of the challenges of freedom, like this external freedom we have, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, etc., etc. And where does my right impinge on your right? How far can I go with this? You know, freedom of speech is marvelous that we are free to express ourselves. Nobody's going to lock us up for what we say. But then we have to recognize where we need to limit ourselves. We don't want to, if our freedom of speech is hurtful, then we need to recognize that we need to pay attention to that. And this is where we voluntarily limit what we conceive of as freedom in order to be part of the whole, in order to embrace that wholeness. And this comes about on many, many levels, not just with freedom of speech, but in many areas of our life. Now, when I was thinking about the experience with the yard sale, you know, those of us who are coming here every day and those who are coming here different days, we were voluntarily giving up our free time. We were volunteering to do this. And when you volunteer, you are letting go of something so that you can participate in something else. And then another very important thing is we seem to have dropped our egoic concepts of how it should be. And under Janelle's leadership, which was very gentle and loving, we all just came together. Somebody did a little job over here and somebody was doing some work over here, and it just flowed. And I think when we are able to let go and free ourselves of different concepts of who we think we are, that flow can happen. Okay. You know, we were in the last year or so, and you know, in this community in particular, we were asking ourselves, where did we go wrong? What could we have done better? And lost my place a bit. Okay. So let's consider these external freedoms a bit more. You know, we have the external freedoms, and then there's the freedom of mind. And thinking of people like Nelson Mandela and Mahatma Gandhi, who were both imprisoned, and Nelson Mandela for a very long time, and Mahatma Gandhi on and off through the years leading up to Indian independence. And I think of Stephen Hawking, the British physicist, who was locked and imprisoned in a body that was not functioning because of ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. And yet his amazing mind was still able to function. And he was had a great gift for the world. And then there was a Tibetan monk, Paulin Gyatso, and he was imprisoned and tortured, and for 25 years, he was basically a prisoner of the Chinese in Tibet. And eventually he was freed and he found his way out of Tibet. And he found his way to Dharamsala, where His Holiness the Dalai Lama lives. And in an audience with His Holiness asked him, what were your greatest fears during that time? And expecting to hear him to say, you know, I feared being tortured or whatever. And what he said, I think was very important. He said, what I most feared was losing my compassion for the Chinese. So he was able to put aside his own concepts of himself and expand out into a wider way, recognizing that he was more than just a Tibetan. And the Chinese were not just Chinese, they were people. And because of that, there's the need to recognize, to have compassion for all beings, no matter, all human beings and all other beings too. So I think that's a very important aspect of internal freedom. The freedom to be able to be within your own mind free. And Viktor Frankl is another example. When he was in a concentration camp, at one point came before his German captors, and they had him stripped naked. And the only thing he had on his body was a wedding ring. And they demanded he take it off and hand it over. And he thought to himself, they cannot make me hate them. And again, that freedom of mind. So no matter what the external circumstances, if we can go deep within, there is this freedom. We are free. And we can go even deeper into the concept of freedom, the internal freedom. And one of the things that binds us most is these ideas of who we are. Also, what binds us are all the troubling thoughts that come up. You know, something happens and something happens over here, but we don't leave it over here. We mull it over in our minds over and over and over and over again. And it's kind of like we're trapped in this place. We try to get out of it, and we come back to it, and we go through it again. So there's the need to be free of that. And I'd like to invite you to take a few moments. This is more of an exercise than a meditation, but kind of sit down as if you're in meditation again, kind of get straight, and take a few deep breaths, and close your eyes if you're comfortable. And I'm going to ask you some questions, a basic question. The first basic question is, who are you? Who are you? Think about this and just kind of whatever comes up in that moment, just hold it in your mind. So are you this body? Are you your national identity? Are you your ethnicity? Are you whatever culture you come from? Are you black, white, whatever so-called race you think you are? Are you whatever ailment you have in your body? Ask yourselves these questions and hold in your mind what answers come up. Now when you're ready, a few moments, open your eyes. And did anything come up for anybody? Who are you? What was that?
God.
Yeah, there you go. Anything else?
I'm not getting one of those things, so I'm a combination of all of them.
Okay.
I thought I'm my mother's child, and that wasn't in a physical sense. It was her spirit. It was like we were the same.
Yeah, yeah.
Expression of God's consciousness using the elements of the earth to project into this environment.
Wow.
Wow.
What was that you said?
So I'm going to challenge you right here. I was challenged this many, many years ago, back in the 1980, and I was in an ashram in India. And this was Osho's ashram, and he used to kid people about different nationalities. And it was all in good spirit. There were people from all over the world. There were Germans and British and Australians and Americans and Italians and everybody else. And he had this one joke, I remember him giving one time in one of his lectures, and it's hell is when the British are the cooks. Oh no, this minute. Heaven is when the British are the police, the
Italians are cooks.
Italian cooks. Anyway, it goes on, and then it does the reverse. Hell is when the Germans are the police and the British are the cooks, and there's all kinds of things, and the Swiss are the lovers, and everybody was laughing. Everybody was able to laugh at themselves and at each other and with each other. And it was a great release, recognizing that we are more than our national identities. And I want to put that challenge out to you today. It's like, yes, you know, I'm a Brit, I'm also a naturalized American. I'm proud of being a Brit, I'm proud of being American. We should be proud of our roots and our identities. And also, we need to go beyond that. Beyond that is our true identity, which is oneness, this coming back to the center point. And in Hindu thought, that center point is the 0 point. And when you think of zero, what zero was actually an Indian concept. I mean, they came up with the zero. And zero is the place where plus and minus start. From this 0 point, everything comes into being. Out and out and out. The pluses and the minuses, the good and the bad, all the opposites, all these things within this universe, that a lot of which are kind of troubling to us. But you come back to this 0 point, the place of beginning, the place that doesn't really have a name, as in Jewish thought. This is the, you can call it the God place, the place of stillness, the place from which we radiate out, and the place where we are whole. And that to me is the place that we are striving to go to. And as we release all these concepts and ideas that I am this and I am that, and it's really easy to identify, especially with the body. You know, we have a pain somewhere and it can be, take our total attention, our total focus. Or we have an issue with a neighbor or a friend or a family member, and it goes over and over and over in our minds. And we're not that. We're not this, we're not that. When we can open up, when we can release all these concepts, we start to embrace our wholeness. And I say embrace is kind of like we embrace that wholeness, and we're embracing this whole planet, this whole country, this whole universe. And however many universes there are, we can be that. We are that. We are that already. So basically, that is my talk for today. It's kind of short, but recognizing who we are. And when we embrace our wholeness, when we recognize that we are complete and whole and beautiful, and we're part of this amazing, amazing God energy. It's within us, it's all around us, and we celebrate it. And we celebrate it today with the external expression of freedom, which is the United States of America, with all its problems, and this world with all its problems, and ourselves with all our problems. We celebrate and we embrace it all, warts and all. Thank you all very much.
I wanted to see thought that Marilyn struck us for a moment, the zero, the center point of polarity, right?
Yeah.
And the zero, the O, is like a Om, and that's where we start, and that's where we begin, and we can choose left or right, we can choose up or down, we can choose these polarities.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
And that is a very beautiful chant. If you can go on video on the YouTube, you can find that chant being sung, and Deva Premal does it very, very beautifully. Om Purnama Purnamida.
I just want to ask a quick question. You know, we talk about when we go into the silence, when we go into the emptiness in meditation. The emptiness isn't really emptiness, it's potential.
Yeah.
And so that seems like, I'm not sure if it's a counterpoint to the fullness idea, but it in itself is a type of fullness.
It's that 0 point is that like the place of full potential. It's not, it's been translated in Sanskrit, it's shunyata. And that concept is very much pervades Buddhist thought. And it's been translated as emptiness, but it's much more than that. It is a place of full possibility, full potential. It's kind of like a sort of vibrating emptiness. And from that, all the other experiences arise. But when we come back to that place, we can know our full potential. And the idea in Buddhism is that that is the place of wisdom. And it's always conceived of as being more feminine in nature. And then our compassion is more male in nature. And we need those two wings, the wings of the bird, in order to fly. And when we have those two qualities in balance, then we fly into that great expanse of oneness. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. Any other questions? Thank you.
Just a heads up, please repeat that second section down there one time. Okay, so let's go over our announcements, our bulletin. We're having weekly Zoom meditations, and we have one on Tuesday evenings at 7 and one on Wednesday mornings at 10. And the Zoom link can be found on the website, unityyakima.org. Also, if you could please take a moment and fill out this survey that is it came in your bulletin today. It's a survey for meditations and the coffee hour, and your input is important due to the questions that are on there. So maybe a few tweaks could happen or whatever. So please fill them out and get them back to a board member, or if you get them done, you can put them in the offering plate. Also, our Wednesday morning book study is at 11 o'clock, and they are now reading the book Be Here Now by Ram Dass. And yay, on Saturday, August 14th, from 10 until 4, we're going to have our metaphysical wellness event.
And I'm sure that it's been scheduled, so there'll probably be more information come out about that. I'm not sure who's heading that up. Chris is, okay, so if you got any questions or you want a form to fill out to get a booth, then give Chris a call. We're looking to develop a team that oversees this service each Sunday to ensure that things run more smoothly. So on next Sunday, July 11th, right after service, we're gonna get together. If you're included on any of the Sunday teams, like the sound team, music team, greeter team, prayer ministry, platform, or the speaker team, then please come and let's get together and see what we can do to make sure everything runs smooth on Sundays. We've got our list of July guest speakers set up. Thank you for that. Team guest speaker, getting those guest speakers. Aren't you on that team?
I am, but so's Marilyn and so's Kyle.
Well, thank you. Also, we have a couple opportunities to give the severance package. We're almost there. And the men's room downstairs needs updating. Once again, this year, yay, we're gonna have a fair, so the Lost Tots booth, and I believe Janet is gonna head that up again this year. So pretty soon we'll have our sign up board. So be sure and look for that and get signed up. Now, if you will join me in our affirmations, our prosperity affirmation. The rich blessings of divine abundance flow to me and through me. I am prosperous. Our vision, a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of a shared spiritual awakening. And our mission, we empower individuals to collectively transform the world.
We are now celebrating our abundance. I will celebrate this day and rejoice in all that is good and beautiful in my life. Bringing up our.
Usually they ask folks if they have anything they want to share.
That's right. We're celebrating our abundance with everyone. Does anybody have an abundance they'd like to bring forward? I can bring you the mic.
She's got one and she's got one. We hadn't driven our pickup truck for probably 2 years, and it usually sits for a long time in between. Hadn't replaced the tires on it forever. Drove into town to get cement blocks. And about halfway into town, well, just not too far from Safeway, the actual tire itself completely came off. The outside, all the tread, everything, all there was just the inner rim. And talk about freaked out, but it could have been really bad because we were in town and not on the freeway. So thank you, God, for that. We were within driving distance of Lush Swab. Yeah, thank you, God, for that. So that was an abundance. And now we have 4 new tires. Yeah, thank you, God, for that.
Is there anyone else?
Actually, I have one. Outside limit. I found out this last month. I haven't had an opportunity to express my abundance. My daughter just told me she's gonna be a mother, first time, my first grandchild. And it's gonna be a boy. I grew up in Ohio State, so I look forward to seeing him. So I'm really excited about that. Good, very great. I have the opportunity to be involved in a street ministry, and we were in Wapato Friday across from the shelter, just preaching and playing songs in the parking lot. And this native man came up to me on a bike, and I walk up to him, and he says, "You're on my block." And I goes, "Okay?" He goes, "Yeah." So can I pray for you? And I just prayed, and he said, yeah, and I prayed for him blessings, and he started crying. And he said, will you pray for my sins? And I said, yes. I said, you're forgiven in the name of Jesus. And you're clean now on the inside, and I want you to tell somebody that.
My abundance is that Wednesday evening our air conditioner broke at about 8:30 at night, and so I started making phone calls and preparing for at least a week or two without an air conditioner. And a company came out on Thursday and had it fixed by 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It was just wonderful, so thank you, God.
Is there anyone else?
I have one, this is not spiritual in any way. I went for a bike ride with my kids and had a blast, and I survived.
Anybody else? Divine love flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
So we're inviting you to sing along with the chorus of the song.
So, I'm sorry. It's birthday Sunday.
Yeah, it's a little bit later.
do that. Yeah, we do
But we
that.
didn't forget. Promise.
Be patient.
All the things were gone, I worked for all my life, and I had to start again, with just my children and my life. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, as the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA. There's pride in every American heart, and it's time to stand and say, I'm proud to be an American.
short things for education, devotion. Everybody who comes to Unity and brings their energy in whatever form they can contribute, and participate to making this a better place for everyone everywhere. Thank you. Service.
So now we get to bless all of the kids in us. We love you, we bless you, and we appreciate you just the way you are. And it is birthday Sunday. Woo, woo. Any July birthdays? Yay! Woo, keep your hand up. Keep your hand up. God is the day you were born, the angels did the walk to Gabriel's horn. God is the day you were born, so grateful for the gift of you. God is the day you were born, the angels did the walk to Gabriel's horn. God is the day you were born, so grateful for the gift of you. So grateful for the gift of you. All right, now we can do our prayer for protection. And then we'll do our peace song on both sides or up on the top. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
You got the text. Are you okay?
Let me,
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God our Creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.
I got Parkinson's disease.
Juanita, did Leslie talk to you about the endowment?
She did, and saying we need to get it moving.
Yeah. Maybe we should just communicate with the other board members outside the church.
Well, I think what I was thinking about it, tell me that this is okay. Calling for, but not necessarily right now, maybe for our board meeting this week, so it can be Zoom. I don't care. We're actually not in states, there's living in a lot of
I'm sorry, I can't.
we're living it in a non-interest rate. So it's sitting there.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And I think that we the general groundwork necessary.
I do too, but I asked her if I could talk to her, maybe you can answer these questions. What are the specific questions the other board members have? And how can we answer them in a way that Rob's not going to sense, but you can't help them?
Well, I think I might have made some headway on it. I mean, I kind of explained to him that it's not really about these kind of projects, it's about posterity. And we're not taking anything away from anything by.
No, actually, you have better ability to do those kind of projects.
Yeah.
If you have the money. Is it 250 grand that we have to have before we can drive?
That's what we're thinking.
It has to be sustainable.
And that's what Clark's idea was.
Yeah.
And we can always, I mean, then we grow it from there.
Right. And the key is what I heard, and this is what I need confirmed. What I heard is it's whatever point percentage of 1%. Or 1.5 maybe, but.
Well, 1.8 per year of assets under management.
But it's also
But
prorated
a quarter of that, yeah, a quarter of that per quarter.
1/4 of the 1.8. Okay, so
And-
it's charged every 3 months.
I mean, the economy's happening pretty bad for us to only get 1.8%. So that's only a fraction of what we're bringing in.
Well, but the economy, they're expecting it to be around 6% growth this year. Last year it was around 12%. So it's a little lower this year, but if you have to pay 1.8%, you're still making 5 or even 4.8.
Yeah. Well, this is for the long haul.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I was telling Leslie that I have a trust fund that it's George's half of our estate, and it's in the trust. And I have to pay half of the fees monthly, and the state pays half of the fees monthly. And in June, my share was $600. And their share was $600. So every month they're making at least $1,200 as a gross, like that number of years.
Yeah.
Because it's a percentage of that. So 1.8% is not unusual.
No, as a matter of fact, that's because of the special relationship the donor has with Clark.
And I also was wondering if it would be prudent, and you guys would know this better than I, if we had Rick come in and talk. Rick will. It might not be prudent, so.
Well, all I know is that when we first started this, when the money was first given, the first thing was that it was to be anonymous. Now, I'm not sure if that's true.
I think that's, I don't know, because I didn't know until this week, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, so, and I don't search out that kind of information. You want it anonymous? Okay, it'll be anonymous.
Well, I didn't feel it was my place to violate that trust.
No, I think you're right. Might have been when Leslie was talking to her. But at any rate, it's been only in the last couple of
And
weeks.
then
So,
the last draft we got, it said in loving memory of Gabriel.
yeah. Okay.
Well,
It's
that
out
was a
there.
giveaway.
Yeah, right. There's a couple of things we can do. One of them, I was thinking about writing a letter to the board, answering all of these questions that I heard on the board meeting too, the last board meeting, and then calling for a meeting.
Hi.
I'm actually headed over to the Southern Mountains. I suppose when they make the time for money.
Oh, yeah, it's actually my job. So I will.
Oh, I was down the second board.
Really? Huh, okay.
Oh, in the email I got from Chris, it has Rob as first and me as second. But okay, right, if you're in charge. All right, that works for me. I could
have fun. Are you
No,
going
on the
for
back
fun?
of here.
Huh?
Rob
my
and
glasses
Juanita.
on.
Rob leaning, Juanita Beach now.
In the email I got, it said Rob Tracy.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter.
Tracy, are you going for fun?
Yeah, we're gonna go. My son really wants to celebrate the 4th of July, which we don't usually do much for. They want to go to the fairgrounds, we talked him into the fire marshal building.
Well, that's close.
Yeah, well, it's close. It's close. He's on the water, and they get to sit in the park, and we're gonna go out to eat and just do some stuff and just get out of Yakima.
Enjoy.
Yeah, because I don't know, the fairgrounds, you're thinking 100 degrees on the asphalt.
Nah, don't wanna.
Yeah, I think we'd rather sit in the water and build it.
Yeah.
So we're taking off and taking it.
Super, have fun. Gotta find Rob. Where did he go?
Well, you know, did you receive, you probably got an email, but when Leslie talked to Clark and got answers, she was able to provide that like at the last minute.
Yes, but I think there were still some questions. So I want to review what those
Oh,
questions
yeah,
were.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, and answer those questions and then ask for a meeting or a vote, one or the other. I'd
Yeah.
rather have the meeting because it's a little more,
Yeah, it makes,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
so-
then we can kind of press for the vote.
So if we can meet on Tuesday night at 7:30 or something for a quick vote on this, because
Yeah.
we need to take advantage of what's there now.
Yeah. And then that would enable me to come in. Well, obviously we'd have to have 2 signers to write a check for Clark.
We do, but theoretically, by the end of the week, we could have that done. If I can get my act together and get the letter written to the board.
Yeah.
And then with the answers, and so I'll be in touch with you and Leslie. And how is the best way to reach you? Because you don't have I can't leave you a voicemail.
I know. Text
Okay, that's the best way to reach you.
or phone call. The thing is that this time of year, I'm not by my phone all the time. If I'm out working.
But if you've got a text, you can get back to me.
But I realize I need to look at my phone for texts a little bit more frequently.
Yeah, and for this week, if you could check it about at least once a day.
Oh, yeah,
That would be great, so we can get it done.
Yes, I really want. I mean, yeah, I mean, I think getting started. Getting once it's going, now, you know, financial team is getting together and meeting about it. Every now and again. Yeah. Well, I'm a bit disappointed at the way things have gone. January 20th.
One of the things, why January 20th?
Because that was inauguration.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Got it. One of the things that I think I need to have clarified, the principal, in my trust, the principal, you put the interest in, you take out what you're gonna take out, or